Good morning, Nigerians. This is a continuation of our continuing discussions and deliberations and an insight into the Nigerian state today, the state of the nation, and what is needed to drive this nation forward. Today we intend to dwell on you, yes, you, the Nigerian. It is the worst of time. It is the most painful of times for you. Nothing seems to be working. It's almost impossible to begin to comprehend the difficulties that the average Nigerian is facing today. I know this. I feel it because I am you and you're me, and we'll be going through this forever. However, we have to keep going because it is clear we do not have a choice but to seek the path that can change our narrative. I am confident, and like I said, it's you and I. We are in the same shoe here, my brothers and sisters, parents, our uncles, our young ones. It's impossible to look at what you're going through with regards to paying your children's school fees. How difficult has it been for you to feed, for you to eat? It has been very hard for you to even transport yourself. It has become so the pains of living, the pain of familyhood, the pain of motherhood, the pain of being a father in the house has been so intimidating, so terrible, and so hurtful that a lot of the times most of us wake up as parents and you don't know what to think. You're lost. You're worried. You're angry. You're pained. And then you ask yourself, what is my government doing for me? What is my governor doing for me? What is my president doing for me? What are my local government doing for me? You see? And it's also very, very, it's practicable that in situations like this, when you are most hurt and you're most tired about a process that is not, it doesn't seem to be favoring the common man in whatsoever form. In situations like this, you're so confused that you begin to ask yourself, is this going to be a continuing exercise for me? Is this going to be a lifetime? For most of us who are in this country, it's been a lifetime. You listen to the music of Fela Anukulak Bokuti, the legend, and then you understand that this has been a lifetime. And so why is it not changing? Why is it not different? It is because, unfortunately, you and I, we have refused to change. I was born in the 70s. I was born to an Urobo father and an Ikwere mother. I grew up in Kaduna. I was born precisely in Jos. I served as a copper in Ondo State and married to a woman from Anambra, Ogbaru to be precise. And so I have a connection to the country. Now something we've been lacking, and we've been losing so much we're losing so much in our history. We've lost a lot of our moral capacity. We lost a lot of our mental ability. We've lost a lot of our capacity to be able to be fair even to ourselves. As an Urobo man who grew up in the 70s, we ate rice twice in a year, Christmas and Easter. When you now have a country that imports rice and spends $2 billion every year to import rice, we have a problem. When you have one of the largest country on earth, with one of the highest population in the world, not able to feed ourselves, we have a problem. When you see that all we do right now is convert our old factories to churches and mosques, we have a problem. How many mega churches did we have in the 80s, in the 70s, and in the 60s? It's sometimes tears are not enough. Sometimes you just are in a state of perpetual anger. Because in the 80s and 70s, we had no mega churches, but the corruption and the criminality was not this insane. And so the more we have developed the miracle aspect and the religious aspect of our humanity, the more we have destroyed the structure of our state and nation. Yes, you and I contributed to this. I remember in the 80s, we are young people. So I remember I can remember what happened in the 80s. Not much of the 70s, but at least in the 80s when I was a teen. I remember in the 80s the union were so strong. I remember that period. They not just the union, but not the union with labor and union with the student structure was so powerful that the military was afraid to do. Even the military was afraid to really antagonize the people because the union stood firm. Where are the union today? You see, we lost us. We lost us in every aspect of our lives. In the home, the parents are no longer in control. You're afraid to discipline your child because you feel you are training them well. My papa beat me, nearly killed me, but I'm proud he did. I'm happy he did. And most people who grew up then can testify that the impact of our parents on our life was fantastic. But they didn't allow us to go easy. They impacted the understanding of life in our lives, what we are not doing to our children. Most of our parents failed us, yes. And that's exactly what we are handing over to the generation after us. And so you look at the past, and then you realize that in every aspect of our lives, we have been a total failure, particularly when you look at nations building. And so we can hide behind the keyboard on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, and be the smart guys, and be the nice guys, and be the cool guys. But both of us know deep down inside us that we're living a lie. And that is why we suffer. And that is why we must begin to understand the impact of what the president is trying to do. A realignment, a refocus, a re-emergence of the Nigerian of old, where hard work mattered, where honesty was golden, where sincerity to a purpose and a cause was valued. We lost that Nigeria a long time ago. We lost it when all of a sudden all we started doing is we started promoting corruption, miracles as corruption took hold of our livelihood. And so what happened to us as a people? Things changed. Did it change for the better? No. Things changed for the worse. A young 20 years old walk into the house whose parents are not working, or rather whose parents are struggling to earn a living from 2 paying jobs with a farm and struggling to pay school fees. He walks into the house with a Toyota Avenza, a 7-8 million naira car, and the parents are happy. Oh, thank you, my child, for God that has blessed you. He takes the car to the church. His pastor will pray and bless that car and ask him, oh my, have you contributed money to this church today? You contribute something and the Lord is gonna bless you so strongly. And so every aspect of our society has been bastardized by the criminality of our mentality. We became a nation raped by a mind corrupted over generations. And so when you blame the president who is making an attempt to fixing this foundational crisis, I ask you, what do you want? What do you want? Yes, you and I. It's a generic question, but it's directed to us. What do we want? We want the old ways. The ways that have systematically decimated the life and the ability of our people to live. That is what you want. Life is hard enough. And there is no country on earth that has grown. There is no country on earth that is doing well today that did not start from home. Charity, they say, begins at home or from home. Sometimes tears are not enough. The fault of our leadership is the failure of the people. Yes, leaders failed because the people became complacent. You see, it is in Nigeria that you're ill, you're sick, and you feel that the only way to overcome that sickness is to pray. Well, yes, look, let's understand sometimes. We understand that sometimes the reason we pray is because we're broke. So we'll call on God to fix our broke ass by praying to overcome a sickness that can kill. It's a sanity. I am one who doesn't want to, who is usually not interested in pity. But I'm bothered because the people end up always having to vote against their own interests when things are hard. Barack Obama in 2008 started the magical process with the American economy, but they lost the election in 2010 because the people felt he was not doing enough. Midterm election. His party lost, not him, because he didn't contest. Of course, a lot of people will not understand that. But I'm driving to the fact that our people are so fixated with the short-term stuff that they forget that the processes of building nation most of the time requires that there's going to be short-term suffering. And the question is, the facts are the facts. We have suffered for way too long. We have been suffering for so long. It'd be like one of the stories where they tell us these days that tortoise is there for fall inside shit. You don't do that for a lifetime. Then somebody can offer to help them come out from the shit. I thought it's saying now they worry you now. You know, you come out me from here. This is the smell though. You've been there for a lifetime. You've been there. We've been here. And what is the president asking from us to do? Yes. He's asking at the most difficult of time, the worst of time, the most painful of times. But he's asking that we go back to our root. We have to go back to our root, or we cannot grow our nation. For those that can farm, go back to the farms. For those that have land, go back to your land. And for those who don't have farms and land, pressure government to provide support, agricultural support to those who can farm. That's not just it. That's not the end of it all. For those who understand the moral, how to revive the moral capacity of our society, please begin to do that. You see, economic development does not reside in your church or in your mosque. It's a waste of time. Pray. Enter your church. Pray from now till next year. Food no go enter your table if you no work. And so as a people, we lost what matters. We lost interest in what is important. And we started chasing shadows. And so you realize that most of us, bros, some of us, as they talk, some of us are guilty. We spend a whole lot of time booking, betting tickets because we want the easy money. We wanted the easy money in our government in the past, didn't work. When you see people like Andrew Yakubu, a single individual with $10 million in a safe, man, as a gift. It is your life and it is your happiness and my happiness that is being gifted to someone who have absolutely no interest in how we survive. And so Buhari is in a process of realigning us, but it is going to involve a hard reset. Nigerians, come on, give this guy a chance. Forget about Islamization. It's a fraud, anybody that says that. Forget about the south, east, west stuff. It's all Bangladesh. Forget about those whose interest is to separate us, is to pull us apart by reminding you that you are a Christian and I'm a Christian and he's a Muslim. Is wrong, or by telling us that, look, you see, by the time we have Biafra, all of a sudden things would change. I asked this question, and it's this basic question. Oh, so if tomorrow you wake up and they draw a line between Delta State and Anambra, and they say, this, you have Biafra, you have Delta, the life of the average man in Delta and Anambra will change, Abi? It will change. My heart is heavy. My thoughts are weighty. You just begin to ask yourself, why does it take so much effort for people who are so troubled to realign their orientation and mentality to focus on that which is important? What is important, Nigerians? It's not this suffering. What is important, Nigerians, is what can this suffering lead us to? There was never going to be any short-term solution to the Nigerian quagmire. You see, we were too dependent on import. We imported everything. We imported religion. We imported petroleum products, even though we have crude oil. We imported toothpick. We imported sleep. And in most cases, we even imported air. So we imported everything. So it was never going to be easy realigning this kind of economy. And above all things, the global economy practically collapsed. And so we also imported stupidity because we didn't save any money. We didn't have anything to fall back on. Every family. I always give this analogy. Look, imagine you are a parent. Okay? I mean, let's just look at you. You're a parent. You have 2, 3, 4 kids working in Chevron. I mean, earning about a million, well, between 1 and 1.7 million a month of salary. Is a mid-level director in Chevron. And unfortunately, Chevron had to downsize. And you have 3, 4 kids. Your wife and so many people who are dependent on you. Unfortunately, Chevron had to downsize. And Chevron said, well, Mr. John, you have to go. He said, no, but I can't. But you have to go, John. We can't pay you. So, no problem, you're sacked. There are no benefits for you. And by coming back, you got a job at Umokoro Oil Trading Company. And your salary is 200,000. If you're lucky, because you're even lucky because you worked with Chevron, because you have that experience. And so you realize that a family of 4 plus you and the dependent who were living on 1.8 million every month will now have to manage 200,000. If any Nigerian tell you that the process of moving from 1.8 million a month to 200,000 a month is going to be easy, the person is not being honest. And it is that deception that is going to continue to make sure that our suffering will not end, because we have to own up and accept the fact that we failed yesterday. Now we have to realign this nation so that we can begin to cut our coat, as they say, to our size. Because right now we can no longer afford the lifestyle of the past. And that is why the suffering is here. And so it's clear we all understand ourselves. Give the president the chance to make the impact he desires. He's a nationalist. He loves this country. He will do anything for you, the average man, the common man. Look at the bailout. He will do everything for us. He will make us proud. But we have to give him the chance to make it happen. Thank you. I am Redson Teleke once again. Bye-bye.